Hello everyone. Since I wasn't feeling quite artistic and creative this day, I decided to just do a cop out and paint semi-realism because that's the easiest thing for me to do. And I decided to paint Willow Smith because, crazy enough, yesterday I had a dream and she was in it. She wasn't like the main character, but she was in it. Plus, I remember I came across this picture of her like not that long ago and I really liked it because of her eyeliner. But today in this video, I mostly want to talk about the basics of drawing and or kind of like both how I go about drawing or drawings in my video. Usually in my videos, my drawings are kind of quick and I don't take as much time. This one I tried to take a little more time, but also while doing something that I'm pretty good at, which is semi-realism, because it wouldn't take me as long as a non-semi-realistic picture. And yeah, I just want to help you guys out about how to go about drawing and all that good stuff. One thing that I tend to use a lot, especially in my videos, which is very helpful, is I kind of cheat my drawings. Now by that I mean I don't draw from picture straight onto paper ever, even with drawings that I make up myself. This is because it takes far too long. Now you could do this if you want to, but me personally, I find it I'd rather work smarter other than harder, especially if I'm doing commissions. I almost never draw straight from the picture. I want it to be close to exact because that's what people want. They want it to be close to exactly how it looks when you're doing portraits. And the easiest and quickest way to do that is to cheat, basically. And here's many ways you could cheat. One way that I used to do when I was too broke for the other methods, which is the least effective way, but I'm gonna tell you all just in case you start from square one like I did once, is using a scaling. Basically you scale the picture, say you divide it to fourths, and you want to use a canvas that's about the same proportion or same ratio as your original picture. So you divide that into fourths and you draw straight onto canvas based on the way you divided up the picture. I'll go more into detail in another video on what I mean by that. Another way is a trace. You color and trace. I do this mostly. And basically you take the original drawing, either you print it out or it's a sketch of yours. You color on the back of it with a really soft pencil, like a 6B pencil. And then you put it on top of your final paper and then you trace the outlines of everything. That's exactly what I did for this painting. Or picture, whatever you want to call it, because I didn't just paint. And yeah, another thing is a light box. This is for smaller drawings mostly, and this is unfortunately something that you have to have. I don't have a hot light box. I do a bootleg light box every once in a while, and I go into detail on that some other time. And the other way is a projector. This I mostly use for larger drawings and paintings, and I have a projector. Luckily, not everyone has one, so this is why this is one of the most effective ways if you have a larger drawing. Actually, it's like the best way. Any other way is not going to be as good. And literally, you just draw. You put the image on the projector, project the image onto your working surface, and you trace it. All right. Then another tip that I realize a lot of newbies at drawing make a mistake of is they don't draw what they're drawing more what they know something to be other than what they see. What I mean by that is a lot of times when people draw, especially when they're new to drawing, they will draw an eye. They see there's an eye in a picture and they're going to draw an eye that's kind of made up in their head instead of the eye that they see on the picture. And a lot of things a lot of newbies don't do is they don't look at their reference drawing enough times to understand what they're doing. When you're drawing from a picture, you always have to look at everything as a shape and not as the image. So you don't draw an eyebrow, what your eyebrow is. You draw the eyebrow as the shapes that you see on their paper, because everyone's eyebrow looks different. So you're not drawing eyebrows, you're drawing the shape of the eyebrow, if you understand what I'm saying. That's what you have to do. You also have to, when you begin to use color, undertones or underpainting. A lot of artists in general, whether they're new or not, neglect an undertone, and I find it to be not a very good idea. When you only go straight from the exact color that you see, and you paint that or draw that on, it tends to lack a lot of dimension. It doesn't look as good as, to me and personally, as a painting that has different undertone colors. With drawing, it's a little bit different, especially if you're using a lot of Copic markers or markers in general, which I've noticed a lot of artists on YouTube use. But when you're painting or you're doing other drawings other than Copic, it's really good to have an underpainting or undercolors without putting too much on the paper, so that if it'll build up, it won't layer like some color pencils are. Another mistake a lot of people use is they draw or they try to paint or draw on the exact color that they see in the picture. Instead of mixing the colors or layering the colors, they try to do it exactly. This is not a good idea because it's very hard to find the exact color, and again, it lacks dimension just like the undertones do. Undertones help establish the future colors that are going to be put on there. And so when you just try to do the exact thing, not only is it going to be really hard and you have to buy so many more supplies, it just won't look as good. It will lack dimension, if you know what I'm saying. Also, if you're too broke to have a lot of art supplies, there's no way you're going to be able to get every single color possible. So there's only base colors. I'll go over what I think the best base colors are in another video, not in this one. Another thing that you should do is always start drawing from references. If you're new to drawing in general and you don't know your style, it's best to get an idea of what everything looks like, the shapes and curves and colors, how things react in nature, how people react, different facial features. It's great to learn from that. Then you can develop your own style instead of trying to develop your own style first, because sometimes people go into uncanny valley and their drawings look freaking wild and ridiculous. So yeah, always start out drawing from references if you're new, because I even did that before I started making up my own things. I make up most of the characters that you all see, unless I put a picture on the screen or I tell you I found it online. It's usually some made up character, and they don't really look high realistic, but that's not what I'm going for anyway. Also, of course, draw every single day. Drawing every day is very helpful, of course, to get better. I mean, if you don't draw every day, you're not going to get better. It's no joke when they say practice makes perfect. So if you draw every single day, you'll get better. Your drawings will look so much better. And of course, paint. Now this sounds crazy. I know I'm talking about drawing, but painting is really good to do, because what painting does is, I've noticed a lot of people who just strictly draw, they tend to go for the exact color mentality. Like, okay, I have to find this exact color that I see on here, instead of building layers. Painting almost forces you to mix paint and to find the color that you want. Not only does it help you figure out what colors make what color, it also helps you in understanding building layers to make your picture have a lot more dimension. And when you can see layers, it makes the art much more beautiful. When you look at many famous pictures from dead painters, you will see, if you actually see their paintings in person, if you ever get the chance to go to a museum to see them, you'll see that almost every single one of their paintings is built on many, many layers. It's not just one color straight on the canvas, it's multiple layers. Anyway, I hope these tips help you guys out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And yeah, later on I'm going to have more videos on educational type stuff. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.